I've been working on my research in the attic at night. I just don't want her to worry.
That's Joseph's blood running through her veins.
Get some!
Let me tell you a story. The story of a young boy. A young girl. Oh, whatever, a young skin-covered skeleton with googly eyes. Anyway, this person thing found themselves in a world full of puzzles and animals and cute little doggy companions. Oh my. Well, that's okay. There's plenty more where that came from. So the two set out to... I'm not really sure what they're doing. Wait, that's right, they're solving puzzles. And they're collecting animals. Or maybe kidnapping, actually. Anyway, they set out to collect these animals and... Oh, the horror. Why would anyone do this? Well, I never. Okay, so the point is, this is a game about doggies and puzzles and googly-eyed flesh bags, and it's more fun than you've had all year. Burn dog. Uurnog. Uurnog Uurnlimited. Well, that's difficult to pronounce, isn't it? What is an Uurnog anyway?
Demons. Planet, fuck you!
5 minutes of peace! It's our new record! What's that?
Fuck yeah! Let's fucking do this!
I've been working on my research in the attic at night. I just don't want her to worry.
That's Joseph's blood running through her veins.
Get some! Cockface!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Raw Fury live stream. My name is Liam O'Neill, producer and protector of the realm here at Raw Fury, and joining me is none other than the is that gargling? What's the technical term for wobbling like that? It's kind of
I don't know.
Gun style.
Whoop up style.
Oh, I see what you did there. This is Jónas Antonsson, CEO of Raw Fury and maker of funnies, and joining us as well is KM Troedsson, who unfortunately is ill today, so he couldn't really join the stream in person, but we have him here in spirit with a candle to hopefully feel better soon. We're going to have a little giveaway at the end of the stream to kind of celebrate KM as well. So we'll talk about that soon. But as you can see on the left side here, we have our format for today's stream. We're going to be talking a little bit about news here at Raw Fury and some cool things that are happening in December.
Okay.
Jónas will be going into in just a bit. We're actually going to be showing something off today that we've never shown before, to kick that off a little.
Oh, really?
We are indeed. We are indeed. And we're going to be playing some Uurnog Uurnlimited, our brand new game on PC and Switch. We might even play another game as well, which is a bit tied into a piece of fan art that we received this week that we're going to be showing off on a community spotlight in just a moment. And following that, we'll do a bit of a Q&A. Today we're going to be talking about Raw Fury, who we are, what we do, what an unpublisher is, which I hope you can explain to the world out there, Jónas.
No, you were gonna explain it, right?
Shit. I did not prepare for that. Anyway, we're going to be going on to that, and then we'll do a little giveaway at the end, so you won't want to miss that. Don't go anywhere. It'll be cool. We're giving away something.
Okay.
What are we giving away?
Let's do it. I don't know.
Okay.
This is your stream. I'm just here for the ride.
Okay, so we'll enjoy.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jónas. Jónas, what is it you do here at Raw Fury?
That's a great question.
Thank you for the stream, everybody. It's been great. We hope to see you again in 2 weeks on our regular stream. Jónas, would you like to come up?
Are they
Come
gone?
under the table. Yeah, they're all gone
Are
now.
they gone?
They're gone. It's just you and me now.
Ow!
Oh, watch the camera.
So what was the question again?
You know, what does the CEO do at Raw Fury?
What does a CAA?
CEO.
CEO, right. Well, I mean, I try to not get in the way too much. So I kind of sit in my corner.
Okay.
And I try to have Excel open at all times with like impressive numbers and shit.
Graphs.
But yeah, I found like a very cool like spreadsheet I downloaded from Google, and it looks really impressive. So that's
Nice.
I just keep that on the screen.
Kind of a go-to document.
Yeah. Then I send myself a bunch of email, and I reply to myself like
Wow.
so, yeah, maybe 60 emails per day or something. So it's a lot of work.
Okay. Do you get into characters? Is there some kind of role playing?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
So
like a-
I'm like my favorite is Angry Gamer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite characters. Monday, that's Monday. Friday is Happy Gamer. It's because you want to go into the weekend.
Yeah, sure.
Kind of feel good.
Is that kind of the complimentary one,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Very cool. So, Jonas, I'm going to have you play some Uurnog today on stream. Are you excited about that? Have you been playing Uurnog lately?
Sure, yeah. Tell me about the game. What game is that?
So Uurnog Uurnlimited is our brand new puzzle platform game from Niflis.
Oh, nice.
A Swedish developer who we've been working on together with for the past couple of months. And let's see if we can get some gameplay up here on screen. We're gonna just
I use this?
You do indeed. That's an Xbox One controller,
Wow.
which works with Windows. So
Super fancy.
you should know these things, John. I'm surprised you don't know this. So anyway, I have a couple of save files here, so I'm not really sure if you just join in, load into one of these, we can kind of see where we're at.
Yeah, let's do it.
I did some cheating on one of these, so I hope that's not the one we're loading.
I hope it is.
I kind of hope it is too.
Uh,
So for anyone who doesn't know, Uurnog Uurnlimited is an extended edition of Uurnog, which was a game that released on Humble as an original earlier this year. This is a very quirky little puzzle platform game where you kidnap animals.
oh my god.
It's kind of
What?
the main thing. I know if you've been staying around for the countdown earlier before the stream, you will have seen the little trailer that we did for this game, which explains it, and it's pretty fun. It's a really special game, and it's actually about more than just kidnapping animals. It's just kind of where it starts. There are multiple endings to this game, including a couple of really, really fun and unique boss fights. And we're going to be showing off a trailer of... It's not actually a trailer, it's a documentary about this game, or about the Uurnog, rather, which this game is based around.
Yeah, because there's a famous thing behind this game, right? There's the Uurnog, which is a mythical creature, I guess, right?
Oh, game audio is a bit loud. I'm going to turn that down a bit. Sorry, guys. Is that better? Is that okay? Can you guys hear us okay now? Oh, we got a dog.
So what do you do with the dog when you just carry him like that?
Well, the fun thing about the Uurnlimited edition is that there is a co-op mode. So you can actually play 2 players. Yeah, exactly. So you can. No, I've actually not turned down the volume at all. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. There we go. That should be better. Shows what I know about tech. So yeah, if you're playing 2 players, one of us can control the dog. But I actually ran out of USB ports on my PC setting up this stream, so I can't join you today. That's a bit of a shame.
Well,
But yeah, you can get rid of the dog. If you hit the right trigger, you can just throw it down. There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Where'd he go?
Well,
where's the dog?
he's in the upside down, I think.
Oh no.
If we can make that reference. This world you're running around here, they're all the shops, all the cool places where you can pick up guns and bombs and different units, or not units, but birds and animals and such. It's pretty neat. But Jonas, 2 weeks ago we had a live stream where Rolly and I talked about Uurnog. And on this stream, I'd like to talk a bit about Raw Fury, about what an unpublisher is, or actually just what a publisher is.
Yeah, please tell me. Talk about Raw Fury. I'd love to hear it.
And we're also going to talk about how you, as a game developer at home or wherever you're watching this, can pitch to us and send us your ideas or your pitches for the games that you'd love to work with us on.
Look at this.
Uh-oh. Looks like you've unpublished your character.
I did.
So there you go. So, Jonas, talk about Raw Fury for a second. What is the idea behind Raw Fury? And where did the name come from?
The idea behind Raw Fury is wow. I'm realizing I am horrible at multitasking, like trying to play a game and talk
I'll take
at the
over
same
for a
time.
second if you like.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'll take over.
Thank you. So, I mean, the idea behind Raw Fury is I've been around in the games industry for quite a bit at this point. Started out on the development side, running at the Olympic company, designing games, stuff like that. Then you just grow old and jaded, and you know, I switched sides. I've done consulting for board level and management level, and then I somehow ended up on the publishing end of things.
Right.
And during all of this, I mean, just to simplify things, there are a lot of reasons why Raw Fury came to exist, but there's a moment I remember 4 years ago. I'm at a conference here in Europe, and I walk into the main space, right, where where kind of like the exhibition area, right?
Right.
And I'm just greeted by endless rows of service providers and ad networks and analytical networks and stuff like that. And then I look at the map for the place, and like in the far corner, there was an indie game section.
Right.
And I walk over there, and it was like walking into like a corner of basically cornered, like scared cornered people.
Yeah.
That had no idea where they were, what they were doing there, and it just.
Oh no.
So it kind of dawned on me that we entered like a phase where, like, you know, what we do is compose of two words: games and industry, and I think it's a young industry, so I think it's easy to overcompensate, and that happens always, right? So I think it's normal that for maybe the past decade or so, we've overcompensated on the industry side and perhaps forgotten a bit about the game side. So Raw Fury is essentially like an extension of that. Just, you know, why does anybody of us enter this space at all? It's because we love games and we like playing games. But I also realized I was old and jaded, right? So
what does old and jaded mean?
Old and jaded means that I realized that my kind of, you know, not that the creative juices were gone,
Right.
but I was still stuck in like old paradigms and old things, like old ideas and stuff like that. And I started meeting like young, talented developers that were just doing stuff that I'd never dreamed of.
Sure.
So it became more interesting to like form something to help them do their shit instead of going back into development. So that's it.
Someone in the chat has mentioned that that happens to Icelanders when they age. Is that true?
This is we do become old and jaded, I guess. I think it's the weather, it's the wind. Like we're always leaning into the fucking wind.
So that's why you moved to the hot and sunny Sweden.
Yeah, and that's why I keep falling down when I try to walk anywhere.
True.
Because
Makes perfect sense. Well, very cool. So talk about when Raw Fury was founded. Like, what did the first kind of months look like?
We're in Sweden, so they were dark. The company is founded in January, so the first months were dark.
Right.
And this is the reason I moved to Sweden, by the way, on stream. Sorry people.
That's what that is. This is
See how professional I am? Anyway, no, I mean they were extremely fun because we came right out of the gate with working on a game called Kingdom with Thomas and Marco, the two developers at the time that were making Kingdom.
Extremely talented.
Oh man, yeah, incredible, and I mean just the privilege of being able to work at that on that sort of game as kind of the first game the company does. It was amazing.
Absolutely.
So at that, like during those first months, it's me and then Gordon Dyke and David Martinez, who's in the U.S. And the first months, the first year was just an amazing ride. Just doing things. Doing things like we wanted to do things and how we wanted to work, right? So yeah, a lot of fun.
So there's some questions here on chat about what exactly it was that you turned around for there. There's some suspicions. Do you want to explain what that was?
I was just retracting my fangs because it's not nice if they show too much on the stream.
So Jónas is in fact a vampire. Something we don't talk about a lot, but we thought we'd announce that today. As it's kind of stream tradition to announce something new during every stream. And if you're just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, this is our second bi-weekly live stream here at Raw Fury. Today we're talking about Raw Fury, not surprisingly enough, and getting a little bit into the nitty-gritty and the nuts and the bolts of the workings of our organization. We're talking about what an unpublisher is, what we could potentially do for you if you're at home making games, and how you can reach us if you have a pitch that you want to make to us.
Yeah, I have a question, Liam.
Yes.
What is an unpublisher?
An unpublisher, I think it's interesting. You just kind of touched on this with what you were saying about doing things your own way, correct? So I think, and I'm still new here. I'm fairly new at Raw Fury. I've been here about 6 months now.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, time does fly.
It does.
And I think that my explanation, at least, for what an unpublisher is basically looking at what publishing is and trying to question, is the way that we've always been doing things really the best way
Right.
for everything? Like is there room for improvement? Is there room for change within certain areas? I think that's kind of the interesting question that we've been asking ourselves with all the stuff we're doing.
Yeah, and I guess sometimes you need to undo a thing before you can redo it.
That's where the un comes from. I get it. So,
Ta-da.
what is your take on what an unpublisher is? I mean, I think you coined this term somehow, did you?
No, a friend of ours did actually, but and with this attached to it, right? That because we were talking about doing things differently, and like, how do you do things differently? The obvious, so you can split a business into two parts, kind of the hard values, which is like the contract, the actual things that goes into like a paper or something like that. But then there are soft values as well, and it's always easier to change the hard values. But we wanted to change the soft values, which is the relationship between a publisher and a developer.
Okay.
Because I mean, most of us that are here, we've been on the development side as well. I've seen all the shitty contracts, and I've signed some of them.
Right.
But to me, it was always like getting the mix of the relationship right, where the relationship actually falls to the background, and people actually feel they're going in the same direction. They're making they're on the same boat, and they have the same goals, and that is to make an absolutely fucking kick-ass game and try to make sure it finds its audience. And obviously, I mean, publishers aren't like we're kind of close to Black Magicians, but we're not quite there though. But no, I mean, a publisher ultimately is a way to potentially enhance your enhance the likelihood of success, right? It's not a guarantee of success, but in a good publisher-developer relationship, the publisher enhances the chances of success, right? And we should definitely games should, like, great games should come out because of a good publisher-developer relationship. And I think in many cases we've seen great games coming out in spite of the publisher-developer relationship.
Yeah,
So,
sure. Yeah,
Anyway.
that's very true. I mean, I think that it's definitely one of the interesting things for us when we talk about to devs about kind of the way that we like to do things. It's often surprising for people when we say stuff like, yeah, if we sign your game, you're going to get to keep the IP. That's kind of one of the big things for us when we've signed games. That's nothing that we'll take over.
No, but I think that's even normalizing, and I love
Yeah.
that. I love that that's almost becoming a normal thing, that publishers don't take the IP, because it used to be the opposite. It used to be like that was the one of the kind of the main things.
Sure.
But that's changed quite a bit, and I'm a big fan of that change.
Absolutely. I think it's also fair to say at this point that very much of the things that we're doing, questioning stuff and trying to maybe do things differently, doesn't necessarily mean we're always going to make the right choices about everything. We could definitely end up just trying something new that no one's tried before.
Oh, look at that! Our camera is dead.
Yeah, speaking of
And I have this,
things.
like, look at the pose.
Oh no! So yeah, let me see if we can fix that real quick. And you can take over in the game for a moment. So Roland, if you're watching this, I think our camera is dying. Oh, sorry. There you go.
Da-da-da-da.
Let's talk a little bit more about Uurnog in specific. Like, what is this game, and how did we come to sign it? Because that's a pretty interesting story for us, at least.
Well, I mean, at least for me, from my perspective. Oh, look, we're back. Or we're doing.
Looks like.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that doesn't look right. Okay.
That's better.
Yeah, I'll let that rest for a second, and we'll focus on the game. Okay, so again, what is Uurnog, and how did we come to sign this game?
Well, I mean, for me personally, Uurnog is a fantastic game, but more so, when I met the developer of the game, Niklas, I I totally fell in love with him and his character, and and how incredibly talented he is. And I'm not sure how widely known it is that underneath this game, and the game is great. The game itself is great, but underneath it sits a music engine that is essentially, it uses machine learning and AI. So what you will hear playing Uurnog will be totally different to whatever another person that plays the game will hear.
Sure.
Because the sound, the music, everything is adapted to how you play the game, and it does so in real time. And just from a both from a technical and an artistic perspective, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Just to put it into very understandable terms.
The thing I really like about Uurnog personally, and especially when we started to play this around, because part of our process when we look at a game, when we get pitched something or when we contact the developer, the first thing we'll want to do is sit down and make sure that everyone in the team has a chance to play it.
Yeah.
And properly get immersed into what the game is and understand it, and really take a deep dive into it. And with Uurnog, I remember spending a lot of time at first just kind of figuring out what I was doing and the controls and all the little quirks and silly things about it, like the urn of sacrificialness, which you just stood on and died. But yeah, the thing I really like about Uurnog is there are so many secrets in this game. There's actually a cheat which is tied to the save room, which I don't know if we're gonna spoil that on stream today, but I will say this. There is one button that you can press, and if you're in the save room, something may happen. I'll just put it at that. And there is also maybe a secret in this game.
Intriguing.
So I'm not going to say anything more. I don't want to spoil everything for the speedrunners at home. But yeah. So we have a question in chat now from Co-op or Coop. It says, can Jónas talk about his history in publishing and why he decided to jump from dev to pub? So from developer to publisher.
I mean, that's a great question. Ultimately, I just to give an honest answer to it, I ended up in a position where I did less and less dev work for my development company and more contract work, I guess, and classic business development. And I mean, at some point, you just develop a certain knack for that and a certain skill set. And it turned out I was really good at drinking at parties and talking to people while drunk at parties, which lends itself really well to publishing. No, it's I think the actual honest answer to it is this: that at some point I personally realized that I'm pretty good at. I'm actually way better at seeing something amazing that other people do than creating it myself. Right. So I can take a look at a game and I'm very quick at grasping what's unique about it, why, what are the feelings involved with it, what are the emotions, what are the, how does it make players feel and why does it work? Right. And I'm way better at that than actually creating the thing myself. So I think that was probably one of the main reasons I ended up going from dev to pub.
Interesting. All right, so I'm gonna try turning the camera on again. Is that viewable? Looks like it's
frozen.
Looks a little bit frozen still.
Yeah.
How's that look? If we nope. So sorry about this. The reason, if you were sticking around at 6 p.m. earlier, CET, that is, the reason the stream was a little late was because the camera started acting up a little just before stream. So I'm going to go ahead and just reconfigure that real quick and see if that helps. If not, we'll have to do this cameraless. Oh, well, that doesn't look that good. So, it's a good thing. It's a good thing we came prepared with a perfect camera.
Should we try another USB port? Or
I actually tried that, so...
Or try another camera?
Try another camera.
Should we go on a 1 minute break? While I panically scream and run around the room.
We can absolutely do that. Turn off the glitch filter. Yeah, that's a good question. I think I'm gonna just try adding a new webcam real quick and see if that works. So I do have a laptop camera here that we can use instead. So there we are.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this camera is not as nice as the other one. Oh, wicked. Is that better? Is that okay, guys? I have to reconfigure this for everything. Anyway, we'll do it live. That's how we do it. Okay, guys, we can continue. So, one of the interesting things that you mentioned there as well was not doing things yourself, right? Like, because one of the things of a publisher that people often get wrong, and I find this to be quite funny. People often sort of expect that the publisher is the entity which creates the game, whereas more often than not, we're working together with a developer who is creating a game, and our role is more of a sort of support act.
Yeah.
That's how I like to think of us as a publisher, at least, in sort of taking a back seat on things and more making sure that we're helping out with things and guiding in the right direction. And then when there are issues, we can come in and try to help out. But as a publisher, how would you say that we work with developers? What's the most important thing for us there?
Well, I think the biggest thing is building trust, getting to a place where the developer trusts that we are there as kind of a supporting act, right? If you need full VO, we'll figure out a way to get full VO. If you need someone else to port to other platforms, we'll figure out how to port to other platforms. If you need help with coding, we'll figure out a way to get you help with coding, etc., etc. If you need help with setting up your business, we'll figure out how to help you set up your business. And I think it's that trust thing that and constant communication and not black boxing anything. So I think we try to be very open in terms of what we're thinking, what we're doing, even to an extent that probably sometimes we come off as kind of, I'm not going to use the word unprofessional. Yeah, I'm going to use it, unprofessional.
Because our camera was proof of that.
Yeah. Because I think, I mean, for me, acting professional is also, like, it's just it's kind of a stupid word, because usually it means ticking boxes or going through a list of things and going like, yeah, I did this, and did this. And sometimes, and actually quite often, that's not what you should do. You should adapt. You should look at what you have to work with, and you should try to come up with something interesting that's tied to that. So it means that we're constantly trying to talk to, like, so none of our plans are fixed in stone. We don't do checkboxing, and we talk a lot with, I think, all of our developers, and sometimes probably way too early, where we're basically brainstorming, publishing like ideas for how to best get noticed, how to best but you know what? We get a lot of valuable input from the developers as well, and they have following, they have fans, and it should be focused on them, and they should be the centerpiece and everything. They should be the ones that do the interviews with the reporters, all of that. We help setting that up, but they do the interviews, right? And then it's the other side, right? That kind of this promise of like, we don't butt into the creative process, but if you invite us in, a little bit like the vampire, if you invite us in, then of course we'll give you feedback and we'll give you our thoughts, but they're not like could we call it the kind of the classic publisher developer way, where like if the publisher says it, you have to do it because otherwise you won't get money.
Exactly.
So that's what we stay away from. Our ideas are ideas. They're input.
Yeah, this is something that we really try to push, especially early on when we meet with developers who we haven't started working with yet. It's important for us that the relationship is one where they're making a cool game, and that's what they do absolute best. And we are a publisher, and that's what we're going to focus on. That's what we do best. So certainly, like, good ideas can come from everywhere, and I think that is something that is always valuable when you think about game design, that you're prepared to take a good idea wherever it comes from. But sometimes when we have ideas, I think we always try to make it clear that, look guys, this is an idea that we have. You don't have to do it just because we're the publisher. We're not going to be angry with you if you decide that actually this doesn't really make sense for our game, or we prefer to go a different way.
Yeah, and my ultimate hope is that this isn't just us talking about, like, one of the things I really dislike usually, probably because I'm Nordic and Icelandic, so it's like double whammy.
Double whammy.
Is trying to talk about myself and what I'm doing. So I'd hope that the developers we've worked with so far would kind of verify and back up what we're barfing out on this stream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But these are the goals anyway. Like, this is why we're here.
That's something we always want.
Wow, you're way better at Uurnog than I am.
I played this game quite a bit now.
Yeah.
But speaking of games, we're actually gonna shut down Uurnog now for just a second, and there's something that we need to do. And first of all, we need to see if we can get the camera to work again, the other camera. So I'm gonna try that real quick, everybody. Bear with us. See what this looks like. So far, it looks like nothing. Oh, actually, nope, still terrible. Okay, we tried, guys. This is fine. So we are going to go ahead and do something that we talked about doing earlier, and basically, as we mentioned, this next month, December, is going to be crazy for us. And the reason why is because we have a ton of announcements going out about things that we're working on. Is that right?
Is it?
Or is it? I'm going to show one GIF right now. And it's not going to come through the camera, so it will actually show, don't worry. I'm going to show one GIF of something, and we're not really going to say what it is.
It's like a tease.
It's like a tease.
Are we going to talk about it afterwards, or like?
That's up to you, Jones.
Okay, I get to like. Ooh,
So,
nice.
ladies and gentlemen, this is something we're really excited about, and I'm going to go ahead and just show you this GIF. And if anyone in the chat can guess what this is, please do. And I'll just say one thing about this. If you want to know more about what this is, please check out our Twitter. Link is on the left. And we're going to be talking more about these in the coming days. This is something I'm really, really excited about personally. I think that this, and I don't want to say what this is, but this is something that I think people are really going to dig.
Yeah.
And this is by a group of really talented people, really talented developers.
Well, I mean, like, coming back to what you said about the December announcements, this is kind of the first very early teases of what we'll be covering December in.
All right.
We came to a point, like, we're working with a bunch of like incredible talents and incredible developers, and it just dawned on us that we've signed a bunch of games, and I probably, again, coming to the whole Nordic background, right, that we haven't really talked about the relationships that we've forged over the last few months.
Right.
And instead of actually kind of revealing necessarily the games or the gameplay, right, we want to just show the incredible talent that we are working with. So we will be kind of announcing that all through December, just trying to put the spotlight also on not only us, but also the developers that are making these incredible games.
Absolutely.
So do you wanna spill the name of this so people can kind of maybe find it?
I think we're gonna wait until tomorrow with that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm
that's your
kind of
call.
like, we have some more to show on this.
You're the king of the stream,
Oh.
so that's your call.
At least not king of the webcam, it seems. So we're gonna go ahead and swap back here to a different little scene here, and now it is time.
Oh my God.
Oh wow, that camera is completely dead. So let me replace this with a different camera, if we can. There we go. That's us. See, we bought a new camera for a reason. It's because this one isn't great.
And the lighting just doesn't work with this one. This is not doing anything for us.
Sorry guys.
Really.
Next stream we'll have a new camera.
Yeah.
That's the deal. Okay, so there is one other thing we want to do today, which again, something we haven't really done before. And,
yeah, this is unstreaming. Earn streaming.
Unpublishing, unstreaming, you got it. So there's one other thing we want to do today that I'm really excited about too, which is to show off a piece of we're going to start doing a bit of a community spotlight on these streams. So we stream every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, on Thursdays at 6 p.m. CET. We may move that to 6:30 CET now that we're having technical issues. We'll see if the camera gets fixed by next time. But what we're going to start doing is showing one piece of some kind of community submission. This could be videos, this could be art, but basically anything that we get that people are making for our games, we want to start spotlighting those things.
It's a great idea.
We get a bunch of art, we get a bunch of really cool things from the community, and we want to show off that to y'all. And here is the very first one. So let's swap over to that. And oh, fancy transition. This is a piece which I really personally like. This is from
This
is from Cute Nightmare. And
fucking amazing.
if you don't know what game this is from Tormentor X Punisher, our over the fucking top game, which we're gonna play right now on stream. And Jónas is gonna play it. And
I
he's
love
gonna
it.
kick some ass. Because, you know, we were actually gonna only play Uurnog today, but then we saw this piece of art, so we decided we were gonna spotlight it, and we said, oh wow, we need to play some TXP. It's been a while. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire that up, and Jónas,
This should go up on a wall somewhere.
it really should.
Yeah.
It really should. So Cute Nightmare, definitely check this artist out. They are really, really, really good. And a bunch of other TXP coming out from this person. So you won't want to miss any of that. And if you're interested in the GIF that we showed earlier, which I'm going to show again really quickly here because I love it. If you're interested in learning more about this, and if you're interested in seeing more awesome art like this, you should check out our Discord. A lot of cool things going on in that Discord channel, and our December announcements are going to be starting in the Discord. So if you're part of that, you're going to see these announcements before anyone else does. You get to brag to all your friends that you know what the next Raw Fury thing is. You'll have so much bragging rights. It's going to be incredible. And now we're going to play some TXP.
Yeah, just to riff off that, I mean, our Discord is our community hub, so we hang out there. We try to like come in and talk about shit, life, even daily struggles, the daily struggles of indie publishing. No, but Discord is where we'll drop things first and probably do some more interesting shit there behind the closed doors of our Discord that you won't see necessarily anywhere else.
For sure. We may do some giveaways in the Discord at some point. There might be something like that coming up, or at the very least, the Discord folks will be the first to know about it. So let's just go ahead and watch this intro before we start.
What did you see, man? Tell me. Demons. Planet, fuck you!
5 minutes of peace! It's our new record! What's that?
Fuck yeah! Let's fucking do this!
Indeed, Jónas, let's fucking do this. This is Tormentor X Punisher. Go crazy, Jónas.
ready.
Have you played this in a while?
No.
Exciting.
And playing it on a very small screen
left trigger,
is...
left trigger.
Yeah, I know.
I know, he says, and dies. So let's do some. Let's see who can get the highest score. I think we need to press the right trigger.
No, I'm just gonna leave it like that.
Oh, okay. So 350 points. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. We would play co-op, but I ran out of USB. Oh, actually, now that we don't have our regular webcam, we actually do have another USB.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I'm gonna plug in another controller and we can go crazy on some co-op.
But I'm old and like I can barely see the small screen we're playing on. The small.
Let me make that window a little bigger for you. So if you go ahead and die, I guess, which feels like a horrible
You
thing
want
to
me to die?
request. No, Jónas, you keep going now.
Oh, you want me yes to die?
I'm gonna see if I can get another
Hello,
Xbox
Liam.
controller here. We did promise
Sean Connery.
KM, who couldn't make it to the stream, that Jónas would do his best Sean Connery impression, and I
we
think it's kind of
did.
happening. So,
We did. Are we going to play this game together?
yes, we are.
Ah,
Jesus, this is so bad. I love it. Okay, I think I need to restart the game here to get the other controller to be detected, so I'll do that real quick. And we're gonna make the window
a little bigger for the man with glasses.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning into the stream, this is our bi-weekly Raw Fury live stream where we do all sorts of crazy stuff, including today talking to Jónas Antonsson, CEO, which means Chief Everything Officer, correct?
Yeah, but usually I just make trouble. Troublemaker.
And today we're talking about Raw Fury, what an unpublisher is. We're going to be taking your questions after just a bit more of gameplay. So if you have any questions for myself or Jónas, please prepare them and line them up in the chat. And we're going to be rounding off this stream with a little giveaway as well. So one lucky stream viewer will be winning something.
Giveaway!
So I think we can skip this now.
Yeah.
If you can do anything. I'm not able to press anything either. We need to do that.
There we go.
Okay, so let's go to controls and let's see if we can.
Here. There we go.
This should work. Can you move?
Nope.
No? Okay. Maybe I really do. See what happens. No. I've done something wrong.
Let's fucking do this.
No. Maybe it's just my USB. My USB port is completely dying or something. So okay, we'll go back to single player. Oh wow. They always say that technical issues happen when you least expect them. So we'll restart the game here. There we go. What about now?
Nope.
What if we do this? Can you move anything?
No.
Okay. I guess we're not playing TXT.
But we've seen the intro movie 2 times now, and it's fantastic. It's so worth just seeing that movie.
We have indeed.
Yeah.
Alright, so there is another thing that we can talk about instead.
This is going well, Liam.
Yeah. I think. See, it's funny. The last stream we did had so few technical issues, and now we're just having everything at once, which is incredible.
Yeah. You remember how I crawled onto the table earlier?
That was fun.
Yeah, you can do that as well. Like, there's room.
Well, no one's gonna see it because we don't have a webcam anymore.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
So no what? Oh, yeah.
The joke is lost. So there is one cool thing that we can talk about. One thing that's happened pretty recently that we've put out on Steam, and that is the Fundle Bundle. And this is a bundle which actually features every single one of our games that is out on Steam right now.
And you get a discount if you own any of them, right?
Exactly.
You get a discount for the rest of them. So yeah, definitely you should check them out. All of them are they're fucking great. They're all very different from each other, which I think is as a game player, I love, like, I play different games all the time.
Yeah.
How about you, Liam?
I play a lot of different games too. I am a sucker for too many genres, I think. I think it's an unhealthy amount. Like, what are your favorite games right now, Jones? Like, what are you playing today?
I'm actually back to Diablo 3.
Love Diablo
Yeah.
3. I've spent way too many hours in Diablo.
I know.
Overall, the whole franchise. I'm a real sucker for ARPGs. But what are these games that you're getting in our bundle? We have everything from a point-and-click adventure game, Kathy Rain.
Amazing game. As a big fan of point-and-click adventures, I can tell a quick story about when I played the early build of this. And this is early 2015.
This is one of the first games we published. Correct?
Yeah. This is game number 2, right? So Kingdom and then Kathy Rain. So we get a build of this game. I fired up at around midnight at my home with the idea of like playing maybe for an hour or two, just checking it out. I come to myself at like 4 o'clock in the morning after having played it for like 4 hours straight. And there's this, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's this scene in the game. There's something that happens, and like I could feel the hairs in the back of my head just go like brrrp, like if I had hair, that is, because I obviously don't have hair. But just like I got this chill, and I like I said, I kind of like woke up at that point in front of the computer, having played for like way beyond what I was going to do, and I like. It's one of the best point-and-click adventures I've played for years, and essentially I spoke to Joel, like I think basically the day after, the creator of this game, and I told him this, and for me at that point, like and as well as Gordon who'd already checked it out, there was no turning back. We had to sign it. Yep. We had to get it out there. It was incredible.
I really dig this as well. Being like I'm a fan of Twin Peaks. I felt like there was a bit of that vibe going on in this game as well. Mm-hmm. Some of that Twin Peaks magic lives in here.
Absolutely.
Like it's obviously not Twin Peaks, but it has some of those same qualities that make that show really good. So if you haven't checked out Kathy Rain, this is definitely a good opportunity to do that and picking up the bundle. And we have Goner.
Yeah, Goner is. I mean, there's stories behind every game we've signed so far. Goner is made by a guy called Ditto, Matthias Dietrich, and we met him at like an incubator program here in Sweden called Stugan, where he was kind of like a part of a group of indie game developers in kind of the Swedish outbacks, the Swedish woods, making games. And we went there. Gordon and I went there as mentors, and we met Ditto there. And it was just immediately obvious that here we're talking to this young gentleman that's just he's brimming with talent. Like everything he does is just unique. And I mean, for me, like this is one of the most unique roguelites out
roguelite
there
for sure.
The art, I mean, there's nothing like it. The art is just incredible, and then he got 2 people involved with it as well, Martin and Joar, who enhanced the whole game with just amazing sound design and music, and how the music and sound design kind of play into how you play the game, how good you are, because it ties together, right? So the better you are, the more frantic the music becomes, the colors start to change. Just another amazing game, and like
it actually won an award for its sound design, which I think that was a first for us, wasn't it? I don't think
deservedly so. It's an IGF winner, so yeah,
that's fantastic. Kingdom New Lands, of course. Kingdom being the first game we ever published. Very minimalistic game, or a monarch simulator, as we like to joke about.
Well, actually, I think it's about the horse.
You think it's about the horse?
Well, if you think about it, you're playing the horse, right? You move, the horse moves,
true.
so you are the horse.
So it's a horse simulator.
It's a game about a horse.
Very interesting. So this is a super chill game at moments where you basically walk around as a horse, and you have a monarch sitting on top of you that can spend money to solve problems and to build up a little kingdom of your own.
The horse is probably wondering, like, what's up with this guy sitting on top of me like all the time? What the hell?
Yeah, and this was as Gordon's pointing out in the chat here, it was nominated for an IGF in design.
Yeah.
So if you haven't checked out Kingdom, I don't want to spoil anything, but there may be a good opportunity coming up for that pretty soon. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, follow along in December.
Exactly.
Maybe
in December. December's a cool month. TXP, we already touched on this game slightly. We tried to play it a little bit, but my USB ports are not on our side today. So, but this is a really over-the-top bullet hell twin-stick shooter. Is bullet hell a correct term for this? I think it definitely is.
Yeah, and like, so one of the things I love about TXP is that if you look at the other games that we've worked with, right? Like, for me, when I look at games, the thing I go for is like, how does this make me feel? So for Kathy Rain, it's about like the mystery pulling you in, the story pulling you in. You become instantly interested in the character, the Kathy Rain, and like her life, her like the and what she's trying to like figure out, what she's trying to solve, and you actually get this feeling, like the detective feeling, right? Kingdom, it's all about this sense of wonder and discovery. What is this world I'm in? Like, and you kind of discover how the game works on your own, and you have these eureka moments that are incredible and amazing, and it creates a mind bug in you, where you go, you leave the game, you lose a round, you leave the game, and then something in your mind just starts clicking, and maybe in the shower or like in the middle of the night, you'll come up with an idea of like, wait a minute, what if I do this?
Exactly.
And you get back to it, right? But TXP it's essentially like a punch in the gut, which you want in a bullet hell game.
Yes.
Right? So immediately when you start it up, the game just shout at you, let's fucking do this, right?
Let's fucking do this.
So from the very first second, you know what you're in for.
Yep.
So every single element in the game is made to enhance that feeling. And it's cathartic.
Yep.
Like, whenever... so before we released it, whenever I was feeling stressed or down or like in a bad mood, I'd actually fire up TXP.
Yeah.
And just 5 to 10 minutes in that, and you're good to go. Like all the frustration and anger,
Kill some
you
demons.
you just pour them into the PC, and you're happy again. And it's
And this is also, for fun trivia, the only game that we know about that has a emoji in its title on Steam.
yeah.
Which it's true. Which is pretty fun for us. We talked to Valve about this, and they were surprised, and they kind of liked it. So that's what happened there.
We hacked Steam.
We did hack Steam. Well, not really. And then we have Uurnog Uurnlimited, which we played earlier. Our really quirky and charming little puzzle platformer about kidnapping animals, about fighting bosses, and about discovering the mystery of the Uurnog.
Yeah.
So this is a game that's very near and dear to us, and this is by developer Niflis, who's also based here in Sweden, the same as we are. Or Raw Fury is a bit spread out. I mean, we kind of have our headquarters, if I can call them that, our hangouts,
In Stockholm.
our place of residence here in Stockholm, Sweden, and we also have a team over in the US, and we also have Callum, who is over in the UK. So we're quite spread out.
We are, and adding to that, I would say that especially people that are following this on stream or in the Discord, if you find yourself in Stockholm, like shout out in the Discord, come grab a beer or coffee or something.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. That'd be awesome.
In Jonas's basement.
Yeah, come up wants to know if we're in Jonas' basement.
Maybe.
Could be. Let's not go into too many details there.
Who knows?
But Fundle Bundle, yeah, check it out. Pretty cool. That's that. So Jonas,
What's up? What's next?
I'm starting to feel like we're ready to do some Q&A. How do you feel about that?
Sure, let's do it.
So let's jump over to Q&A, and I'm going to see if we can, once again,
Yeah, we kind of need a camera.
this
for
is the
Q&A,
final
yeah.
attempt on the cool camera. Let's see if it's still alive. Come on, cool camera, please. Channel. It's back in action. Let's see how long we can do this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, quick Q&A. Drop your questions in the chat. We'll take all your questions, 100% of the questions. What do you want to know, folks? Fjoks.
Is that Swedish?
That is Swedish. That's old Swedish. I think the webcam is actually just glitched on us. Let's sit really still and hope that helps. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see on the formats here on the left side, we are in the Q&A section of the stream. So if you do have any questions for us, we're happy to take those in the chat. And Jonas will be racing to the questions. There is a question. Any chance you can try our alpha here to see what others think of? Ooh, so there's some kind of alpha that we can check out. And that is from Back to the Abyss Game Studio. Yes, absolutely. Back to the Abyss. So,
Hey, yeah, I saw your message earlier on both Twitter and Facebook. So absolutely, like I mentioned on Facebook, like after the stream is done, I'll check it out.
that is really cool. So I think that also poses an interesting question that we were planning on answering during the stream. I think we kind of forgot to. How, Jonas? Let's say I'm a game developer. Let's say
you are.
Let's say I have a cool idea, or let's say I have a cool game rather that I'm working on. How do I reach out to Raw Fury? How does that work?
So the easiest way is to essentially send us an email to rebel@rawfury.com.
Like the David Bowie song.
Yeah, rebel.
Rebel.
I'm dating myself quite heavily now. And from there, we will take care of it.
We will fix it.
We will fix it. No, I mean that's the easiest way. We send us a build if you have it. Like it doesn't matter if it's early on. Like I said, most of us have been on the development side. We're pretty good looking through the rough stuff and seeing the magic that's inside. So don't worry about it. Send us a build if you have it.
I really want to accentuate that. Like a lot of the time, I know the hardest thing when you're working on something is actually saying, is this good enough for someone else to take eyes on it? And honestly, early is fine. If you have something that's playable and you think that little magic is there already, if it's fun to play, if you feel like the core is there and you know what the rest of the game is going to be, show off the core and we can talk about the rest. It's fine to have a discussion. And one of the big things for us, especially for Callum, who is kind of the first ranger of pitches, I think his title is. I forget. I know ranger is in the title, but he is the guy.
In there, yes.
He's the guy who's kind of. He's the guy you're going to talk to most of the time, who's going to check out the builds and have the early conversations. He is really good at talking, and he's really good at answering emails. He's not somebody who's just going to ignore your game because it's not up to snuff or whatever. Like, don't be afraid to reach out early And we'll be honest, if it's too early for us to be able to commit to something, we'll tell you.
Yep.
We'll give you feedback. We're happy to check out your game, and yeah, it's never too early, I think, unless there isn't anything to play, in which case it's too early, probably. But we still want to talk to you.
Yes, and like, yeah, keep it short and sweet. Tell us why you're making your game. What's the motivation? What are the highlights of it? Send us a build. That's it. There's a very interesting question there.
Oh, yeah.
Like TXP Kathy Rain crossover. When?
Ah, yes. Love it. I would love to see Kathy murdering demons. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, or the opposite.
Wait, demons murdering Kathy?
No.
I don't want to see that.
No,
That would never happen.
No.
Okay, we'll think about that. I think that's the answer. But again, let me point out one important thing. We would probably not be the people who would make that decision.
No.
That would be something that we would have to talk to Clifftop and eStudio, the developers behind these games, and basically pitch to them and see if this is something they'd even be interested in. That's never something that we as Raw Fury would make happen on our own. It's something that would be an open discussion, and I mean, I'd love for it to happen. I'll say that much. That'd be fucking cool. There was another question a little further up that I want to check here. This is from Silver Fox. Which Raw Fury game do you guys have the most hours played in? Which one is it? I'm gonna check my Steam account real quick.
Yeah, for me it's definitely it has to be Kingdom.
Yeah, Kingdom.
Because I've been playing that game basically since from when we started the company.
Right, it has that little advantage of being the old one, right? I think my second highest one is actually Dandara, which hasn't come out yet.
No, but yeah, that's a very interesting game. Maybe we'll talk about that later in, I don't know, maybe December, maybe?
December is cool. In more ways than one. But I won't make a snow joke on stream. That would be a shame. So a question from Coop, or Co-op. I'm not sure which one of those it is.
Coop.
The question is, how do you feel about the surge in battle royale games, and do you feel there is room to innovate as an indie in a genre becoming dominated by the big dollar companies? Question mark.
That's a big question.
That is a royal question.
How do you feel about the surge in battle royale games? Let's start there. I mean, William, what is the go-to game at the Raw Fury Hangout these days?
PUBG.
It's PUBG, right?
We play a lot of PUBG.
We do play a lot of PUBG here, and why does it work for me as a gamer coming to that game? It embodies all the kind of the basic emotions that you want out of a shooter.
Sure.
It's not complex. There are games out there that look way much better, but it's the thrill of the kill. It's the skill of being able to sneak around, find the weapons, figure out where the enemy is going, getting into the circle, and then killing everybody off, right? Yeah. And getting that chicken dinner. It's the beauty of simple design that just is focused on what the game is supposed to make you feel. Yeah.
And it works.
It just works beautifully. And I think the surge in Battle Royale is essentially because of this. It's just like the simple basics of playing those sorts of experiences together. Is there room to innovate as an indie? Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. We've seen some very interesting examples that could turn into something cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we won't talk about. But no, I completely agree with you, man. I think that the Battle Royale genre as a whole, I have a feeling it was a long time coming, and I have a feeling that the further technology gets, or especially like the super available tech for game developers, as that evolves, I think we're going to see a lot of genres really take off that weren't possible before.
Look at this.
Oh, okay, you're ascending. Oh, there's the Raw Fury shirt. I think PUBG is a great example of how much gamers are longing to play something that's different. I think that's what we're going to see a lot. We're going to see genres like this that just take off partially because tech allows it, and it's easier to make those kinds of games now than it was 10 years ago. But I also think that there's always going to be that new trend that people hop on because it's something that you haven't seen before.
Well, I think it also goes back to the basics. Like, why do you play games? You play games because they make you feel something. PUBG does that perfectly well.
That's very true.
And like, you are a gamer because you like having interactive experiences and you like feelings.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry.
Single tier.
Yeah, single tier.
It's all about the feelings. I think that's really cool. So, there is a question which was asked by Crowbar High Five and seconded by The Axiom, which means this is a great question. What do you guys look for in content creators when making videos/streams about your games? This is a really interesting question as well that I'd love to... It's a shame none of the marketing team are here for this one, but actually some of them are in the chat, so maybe Antipode51, maybe you can answer this one. But especially when we... So let me just reread it. What do you guys look for in content creators when making videos/streams? This is more from our perspective.
Yeah,
when we're making things ourselves.
I mean, I can definitely throw in my 2 cents there. I mean, so one of the things that we have to respect from our side is why are content creators putting out their content, right? It's because they have an audience that they want to engage with, that they want to be in touch with, and be relevant to.
Yeah.
So like, our both role and goal as a publisher is trying to make sure that they reach that goal. So we try to be mindful of, like, when we approach content creators, that we're trying to give them games that we think might fit well with their audience and help them build their brand.
Right.
So we try to stay off and away from kind of the shotgun approach of like just spamming everybody, and rather try to kind of focus on people that we think are have something to gain from playing our games.
Yeah.
But then, of course, like, if you're a content creator and you send us an email and ask for a code, our rule of thumb is basically, if you're active, we don't care about if you're small or big or whatever. If you're an active content creator, we'll give you a code if
Absolutely.
you think what we're doing is of interest to you.
Yeah, I think that's really good. And I mean, a lot of the time, you know, for us, like, the amount of viewers that someone has, that's not the most interesting thing when it comes to giving someone a key. If you want to check out our games, and as Jónas is saying, please reach out, and we'd love to talk to you. So another question here: what are some types of genres you prefer to publish? Alternates? Are there genres you avoid? See, I'm gonna answer something, which is a genre we haven't done any publishing in, and I would love to actually, this isn't entirely true because Kingdom actually has some of these elements, but I'm a real fan of, like, management games. You know, the kind of tycoon stuff, the building of cities, that type of deal.
Are you pitching?
I would love someone to pitch something really cool from that world to us.
Are you working on a game, like, outside of work?
We're going to take a quick break here, ladies and gentlemen. What about you, Jónas? And in terms of genres to avoid, that's an interesting one as well.
Honestly, personally, I don't care that much about genres. Genres are like, it's a label. It's a great label to simplify or communicate what the game is about. But ultimately, like, I myself, and not as a publisher, but as a gamer, I don't care about genres. I play games from all sorts of different genres, and I've loved games from all sorts of different genres. So again, I come to the point of, for me, it's all about, how does it feel to play the game? Does it make me feel something? Do I get excited? Do I get curious? Do I, you know, one of my favorite example, like, two of my favorite examples are This War of Mine and Papers, Please. I mean, those are just two excellent games that definitely make you feel something on a very, very deep level. And we can go even to something like Shadow of the Colossus, right? Yeah. Which does the same. So genre doesn't really matter to me. It's more, does the game make you feel something, and does everything in, like, and around the game, like from menus to sounds, everything, does it enhance those feelings?
Yeah. I mean, a game like Firewatch, for example, which I played recently and hadn't touched. I actually bought that game when it came out, and I haven't played it until just now. And I absolutely love that game, and it does what it does really well. It puts you right into that world, and like, sure, it's easy to look at a game like Firewatch and be like, you're just a walking simulator.
Yeah.
But that's not
Nope.
like that's not what that game is about.
Not at
It's
all.
not about combat. It's not about deep mechanics. It's about a really compelling story, and it's about a fantastic narrative surrounding that story and getting immersed into a world.
Yeah, the same. You could say the same with What Remains of Edith Finch, right?
Absolutely.
Which falls in the same genre, right? If you try to describe that game in kind of labeling terms,
Yeah.
it sounds super boring. But playing it is absolutely like it's super engaging, and the story is so fucking wonderful.
Definitely.
There you go, people.
Definitely. That is the truest truth. So we're gonna do one or two more questions, and then we're gonna move on to the thing that is to the left of my finger there, the thing that everyone is waiting for. Let's see here if we can find another question. Gordon wants to know, why is the shirt backwards? It's backwards because the camera is mirrored, so that when I point to the left, I don't actually point to the right.
We're kind of backwards as well.
We are backwards. We're unpublishing. So here's a question from Fox TV. When Raw Fury is looking at games to publish, what are some of the key features that you look for? Do those key features mostly reflect what Raw Fury tries to brand itself as? And I think we kind of answered this already in a way. But to specifically answer this question, there isn't anything specific that we're looking for. We're looking for a game that, as you're saying, Jonas, makes you feel something. That has that undefinable magic that some games have and some games just don't. And it's really tricky to quantify. And I think if we were to, even if we were to like sit down together and brainstorm and come up with the perfect definition of the Raw Fury perfect game, 6 months from now,
It'll change.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think there is one. I think if we had a list like that, we'd be doing it wrong. And that's really, really crucial. And here is another question there's another one from Back to the Abyss Game Studio. QA, or questions and answers, I guess. How do you make a game stand out in a store amongst dozens and dozens? Where's the magic? This is
That's
very
the
interesting
big
question.
question, right?
Everyone's struggling with this right now.
So that's a really good question. You want to come under the table with me?
Yeah, I really do.
No, I mean, here's the short and long of that, right? Anybody that tells you that they know exactly how to do this is lying through their teeth, and it's like what they're saying is bullshit.
Yeah. Do you agree, Coem Skeleton?
Coem Skeleton, absolutely. Like, look,
Actually,
he does agree.
he does agree.
No, I mean this is the bread and butter of what we do. We're constantly trying to figure out like what currently works, like what currently stands out. How do you cut through the clutter? How do you cut through the noise? Why should people care about what you're making or what you're doing? And how do you take the core of something that we see as absolutely masterful and beautiful and kind of like basically magic, and how do you get others to care about it?
Yep.
And
Sometimes that's easy.
sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's very hard, but there's no silver bullet to this at all.
I mean, sometimes
Sorry.
sometimes you look at something and I think there's an instant connection. We definitely had that when we announced the last night, where a lot of people look at it and it just like it visually resonates with something that people want.
Yeah.
And then the challenge is making sure that the rest of the experience matches that anticipation and that like hype. And you know, in a case of a game like something like what we're looking at right now, it's beautiful.
It absolutely is. Look at that rain.
That's all I wanted to say. And we're going to be talking about that more in the future. So we'll do one final question here, unless you wanted to add anything more to that.
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool. So we'll do one final question if there is another one in the chat, which we can find. One last question, guys. Drop your final question in the chat, and we're going to be moving over to doing a little Q&A. And I'm going to quickly just set something up here for the... actually, giveaway. Sorry, not Q&A. We just did Q&A. We're going to be moving on to the giveaway. That's what we're going to be doing. So is there a final question before we go on to that? Okay, we have one from Rhea15.
Next game to buy.
This is really tricky. I mean, obviously Dandara.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's no shameless self plugging, what is the next game to buy? There are a lot of cool things coming out.
But my question would be: Do you have a Switch?
That's an important question as well. Which platform?
Which platform?
I mean, I am still waiting for the new Manta Blade game personally. Bannerlord. I'm really excited about that. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's gonna be the next game I buy. It might still be a while.
I think one of the games I'm most looking forward to is actually the next game by Lucas Pope, who did Papers, Please.
Cool.
He's making something that's super magical.
Very nice.
So yeah, I don't know when it's gonna come out, but that's one I have my eyes on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna
Sounds
be
good, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to be coming back with a giveaway. So before the giveaway, we're going to show off a little documentary video, which we uncovered. Actually, our trailer master, chief visualist, Roland, was in a Swedish library and found some old VHS tape or something. He found this in the archives, and it was related to the Uurnog and to Nifflas, the game developer who made Uurnog Uurnlimited. And when we saw this documentary, it's actually one of the reasons why we decided to work with Nifflas in the first place.
It's just a bridge.
It's just a bridge. We're going to play that trailer for you now, or that documentary, sorry. And we'll be right back with a giveaway. Don't go anywhere.
Now on BBC One, a journey to northern Sweden and the mystery of...
The mystery of the Uurnog. Here, in the deep forest of the Swedish north, Nicholas Nygren has been investigating the myths surrounding the mythical creature known as Uurnog for most of his adult life. With his trusty bloodhound forever at his side, Nicholas is searching for clues about the Uurnog in local legend.
So this is the village Ur, where the stories about Uurnog came to be. And nobody really knows if they're true, but a lot of people here still firmly believe in it.
Nicholas enjoys a simple life. Daylight hours are spent walking the forests and trails, looking for clues and inspiration.
So the funny thing about this bridge is that it's just a bridge. And there are many theories to why. Nobody really knows for sure. Just a bridge. Yeah.
There are traces of Uurnog scattered around the north.
So this is the old Uurnog museum. And it's said that everything you see in here is a part of Uurnog that fell off. And you can see it's a lot of stuff. But nobody really knows what these are used for or why they were attached to Uurnog in the first place.
What pieces have been found of Uurnog have been faithfully represented in the game with the same name. The game, based on his research, was made here.
This is actually my office. This is where I make my games and research about Uurnog.
Nights are spent in front of a portable programming device, a laptop computer.
I just use the laptop and hope I don't run out of battery.
The only company he keeps is his beloved dog, Hot Dog. Hot Dog has lent her voice to several characters in the game. It is a comforting thought knowing that individuals such as Nicholas are out there.
Back when I was a child, the Swedish military joined forces with the local community to look for the Uurnog, and they just gave up after a few years. But it didn't spark a dream in me, though. Maybe I could be the one to find the Uurnog.
Searching.
So the thing about this windmill is that it was never actually used by anyone.
Investigating. Shedding light on the mystery.
Nobody really knows if I'm gonna find anything or not. But if I do, maybe I can finally be happy.
The mystery of the Uurnog.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Uurnog documentary, The Mystery of the Uurnog, which was uncovered, as we say, from some kind of suspicious archive area somewhere. And this was actually released in 1981, it seems.
By BBC One, right?
Apparently it's not the actual BBC, though.
Oh, really?
It's the Baltic Broadcast Channel, or some like obscure channel that doesn't seem to be around anymore. So we're not really sure what's going on there. But you can actually find this now on Steam as well as a free video. So if you want to download that and have it in your Steam library forever, The Mystery of the Uurnog. Go check it out. Go download it. Drop a review if you want. It's pretty funny. And there we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the thing. The fourth thing on our format, which is... You guessed it. It's the giveaway. So now, let's swap over to our little giveaway over here. So first of all, let me just quickly set up the appropriate little URL here. And this is pretty simple. There is a hashtag that I'm going to ask you to type in the chat. And it's hashtag GetWellSoonKM. KM is replaced on our stream today by this little skeleton man over here because he couldn't make it. He is unfortunately ill, or so he claims. We actually think he's just skipping out on the stream because he's, you know, we'll need a doctor's note, KM. But anyway, we want him to get well soon, so drop your hashtag GetWellSoonKM in the chat. That's non-case sensitive, by the way, so caps is fine. Drop it into the chat right now, and we'll let this run for a couple of moments. And if you win, one lucky stream viewer will be getting a Steam key for one of our games. We're going to spin the wheel and find out which game that is. So the wheel is up here.
So we're actually giving away a game?
We're giving away a game. Like we're unpublishing ourselves. I'm going to put it in there.
Did we talk to the CFO about this? Because obviously this needs to go into like forecasting and the Excel sheet that I always look at, like that. I think so. No?
No, we did.
Fuck it.
We did not do that. So, Kjartan, if you're home watching this, we're giving away a free game, and there's nothing you can do about it. Cool. Hope that's fine. So, yeah, just drop the hashtag at in the chat. We'll let this run for a second. The hashtag is at the top of the wheel. Hashtag GetWellSoonKM. And hopefully he gets well soon.
Can I spin it?
You can spin the wheel, yeah. Let it roll for a little longer.
Can I spin it now?
No, don't.
Now?
I mean, no. And the way this works, by the way, behind the scenes,
Hey, Gordon, you can't participate.
Well, Gordon is automatically disqualified.
All right, good.
Yeah, that's fine. He's in my list of disqualifieds. So one lucky viewer, as we say, who drops this little hashtag into the chat will be winning a Steam key for one of our 5 released games. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining the stream. We apologize for the technical difficulties, for the camera slowly burning up and dying inside, and for the issue with my USB ports. I think I need to maybe update some drivers or something, or solve that. But to reiterate, before we jump into this giveaway, there is a very exciting December coming up for us. We're going to be announcing a ton of new things, including some games. That is right. And I said some games. I didn't say one game.
Some games.
I actually didn't say 100 either, just to be clear about that. Some games.
So it's a number between 1 and 100.
Yes.
Can I
hope I'm not confirming too much.
Can I take a guess?
Yeah, you can take a guess.
All right, I'm gonna guess like 50.
Slower than 50, Jonas.
Slower than 50. All right.
It's not 50. It may somehow be related to
the number. Oh, not 0.
Not 0.
Oh,
the
other.
Zero.
Okay. I'll shut up now.
We're both going to shut up now, because otherwise the marketing folks in the chat will murder us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into the stream. This is the giveaway, and we are going to be... First of all, before we do that, let's find out who the lucky winner is. So, 10 more seconds, guys. Drop hashtag GetWellSoonKM in the chat if you want to participate. 10 seconds. Your CEO confirms it'll be announcing 50 games in December. Oh, no.
No, it was a question. 50? 50? 50?
Oh.
With like a... Because my voice went up in the end. That's the question.
Great save, Jonas. All right, guys. Here we go.
Delete.
So the winner of today's giveaway is none other than, and we're gonna roll this. Jonas, you can hit the roll button here.
I can do the roll. All right. Drum roll.
Better not be Gordon. Press it. The winner is Dimod. Dimod. You are going to win.
What is he winning?
This is the question. The question. All right, so...
Can I spin it?
Dimod, you are winning. Press the button. And Dimod, you will be winning a Steam key for... What's it gonna be? Goddard!
Ah, nice.
It's Goddard,
Yep,
our
you'll have fun.
roguelike, crazily beautiful game by Art and Heart. This is actually a really cool game. So I'm gonna go ahead and send you a Steam key just after the stream. And yes, that's pretty much all the material we had for today.
I think so.
Our script is out.
Do we want to show that beautiful, beautiful island in the rain again?
I think we will. So, to be clear, there will be something very cool happening tomorrow, which may be related to this GIF. And if you miss it, it would be a shame.
Hey guys, join our Discord. If you're not there, come, join.
Join the Discord.
Yeah.
We're going to be dropping the URL for the Discord in the chat, so definitely go check that out. And that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining. We'll be back in 2 weeks with more Raw Fury streams and more webcam shenanigans. I've been Liam, and this has been...
Jónas.
And this is KM's Skeleton. Thanks so much. We will leave it on a GIF. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
That is beautiful.